Most people will not openly hate your success. They will smile. They will congratulate you. They will say they are happy for you. But behind the smile, something darker may be growing. A quiet discomfort, a hidden resentment, a silent question. Why him? Why her? Why not me? This is envy. And envy is one of the most dangerous forces in human nature, because it rarely announces itself. It hides behind jokes. It hides behind criticism. It hides behind fake concern. It hides behind, "I'm just being honest." And if you do not understand envy, you will misread people. You will trust the wrong ones. You will share too much. You will celebrate in front of people who secretly want to see you fall. And worst of all, you may not notice envy inside yourself. Because envy does not always feel like envy. Sometimes it feels like judgment. Sometimes it feels like irritation. Sometimes it feels like moral superiority. Sometimes it feels like they don't deserve that. But underneath it is pain. The pain of comparison, the pain of feeling behind, the pain of seeing someone else live the life you secretly want. Robert Greene calls this the law of envy. And once you understand it, you will start seeing human behavior differently. Because many people are not upset because someone did something wrong. They are upset because someone did well. And that difference changes everything. Envy begins with comparison. You see someone with more attention, more money, more confidence, a better relationship, a better body, a better career, a better lifestyle. And suddenly, their success becomes a mirror, not because they attacked you, not because they harmed you, but because their life exposes something unfinished in yours. This is why envy is so uncomfortable. It does not come from what others have. It comes from what their success awakens inside you. A feeling of lack, a feeling of inferiority, a feeling that life has given them something it denied you. And because this feeling is painful, most people do not admit it. They disguise it. They say, they got lucky. They changed. They think they're better than everyone. They only got there because of connections. They're not even that good. Notice what is happening. Instead of improving themselves, they reduce the person who triggered the insecurity. That is envy's first move. Destroy the symbol. So you do not have to face the truth. And this is why envy is dangerous. Because an envious person does not always attack directly. They often attack indirectly. They make subtle comments. They question your motives. They minimize your progress. They joke at your expense. They become cold when something good happens to you. They support you when you are struggling, but disappear when you start rising. And this is one of the clearest signs of envy. Some people are comfortable with your pain, but uncomfortable with your power. They like you when you are uncertain. They like you when you are dependent. They like you when you are still figuring things out. But the moment you improve, the relationship changes. Your growth threatens the role they assigned you. They wanted you close, but not ahead. They wanted you happy, but not too successful. They wanted you confident, but not more confident than them. This is why you must be careful who you celebrate around. Not everyone clapping is proud of you. Some people clap because they are being watched. Some people smile because they cannot reveal what they really feel. And some people stay close, only to study your weaknesses. Envy often hides behind friendship. It can appear in families, workplaces, romantic relationships, creative circles, even among people who say they love you. Because envy does not require hatred, it only requires comparison. A sibling can envy another sibling. A friend can envy another friend. A colleague can envy your promotion. A partner can envy your confidence. Someone can genuinely care about you, and still secretly resent what you are becoming. That is what makes envy so complicated. It is not always pure evil. Sometimes it is insecurity wearing a mask, but that does not mean it is harmless, because unaddressed envy becomes sabotage. The envious person may discourage you. They may plant doubt. They may make you feel guilty for succeeding. They may create drama when you are focused. They may try to pull you back into old habits. They may say things like, "Don't change too much. Remember where you came from. You're becoming different. You think you're better now." But listen carefully. Sometimes "you've changed" really means you no longer fit the version of you that made me feel comfortable. And this is where many people make a mistake. They shrink, they hide their progress, they stop sharing wins, they apologize for improving, they dim their light. So insecure people do not feel exposed. But you must understand this. You are not responsible for managing another person's insecurity. You can be humble, you can be respectful, you can avoid arrogance, but you should never make yourself smaller, just to make someone else feel bigger. That is not kindness. That is self-betrayal. Now, the hard part is this. Envy is not only something other people feel. It is also something we must confront inside ourselves. Because every human being experiences envy. Maybe you see someone your age doing better. Someone with a better body, a better relationship, a bigger platform, more money, more confidence, more freedom. And something tightens inside you. You feel annoyed, you feel critical, you feel like they are overrated, you feel like life has been unfair. That moment matters, because envy can either poison you or guide you. If you deny it, it becomes bitterness. If you examine it, it becomes information. Envy shows you what you secretly desire. It reveals the areas of life where you feel behind. It exposes the goals you have abandoned, the dreams you pretend not to care about, the standards you lowered because trying felt painful. So instead of asking, "Why do they have that?" ask, "What is this showing me about myself? Do I want more discipline, more courage, more freedom, more recognition, more love, more skill, more confidence?" Envy becomes destructive when you focus on destroying the other person. But it becomes powerful when you use it to build yourself. This is the transformation, from resentment to self-awareness, from comparison to direction, from bitterness to ambition. Because the strongest people do not waste their energy hating those ahead of them. They study them, they learn, they improve, they turn envy into fuel. A weak person sees success and says, "They don't deserve it." A strong person says, "What can I learn?" A weak person wants others pulled down. A strong person wants to rise. That difference determines your future. So how do you protect yourself from envy? First, do not overshare too early. Your goals do not need an audience. Your plans do not need approval from people who have not earned access. Move quietly. Build quietly. Let results speak when they are ready. Second, watch how people react to your good news, not your bad news. Bad news is easy to comfort. Good news reveals people. Do they seem genuinely happy? Do they ask questions? Do they encourage you? Or do they become distant? Do they change the subject? Do they minimize it? Do they make a joke that cuts just a little too deep? Pay attention. The body often tells the truth before the mouth does. Third, avoid provoking envy unnecessarily. This does not mean hide your life. It means do not be careless with pride. Do not constantly brag. Do not humiliate people with your progress. Do not make success your personality, because arrogance invites enemies. Humility protects power. The goal is not to make people feel small. The goal is to become strong without needing to dominate. Fourth, choose your circle carefully. Surround yourself with people who are inspired by your growth, not threatened by it. People who can celebrate your wins. people who are building their own lives, people who do not need you to fail in order to feel valuable. Because when people have no mission, they often become obsessed with yours. And finally, deal with envy inside yourself immediately. When you feel it, do not pretend it is not there. Name it, study it, ask what it is trying to show you, then act. Train harder, learn more, improve your skills, build your confidence, fix your habits, create something. Because action is the cure for envy. The more you build your own life, the less time you have to hate someone else's. So remember this, envy is silent. It rarely says, I envy you. It says, I'm just worried about you. I'm just being honest. You're not that special. You got lucky. You've changed. But underneath the words, there may be comparison, pain, insecurity, resentment. And if you are not careful, you will let envious people plant doubt in your mind. You will mistake their insecurity for wisdom. You will confuse their criticism with truth. Do not do that. Listen to feedback, but study the source. Some people correct you because they want you to grow. Others criticize you because your growth exposes them. Learn the difference, because one will sharpen you, the other will poison you. And when envy appears inside you, do not hate yourself for it. Use it. Let it show you where you need to grow. Let it reveal what you truly want. Let it push you into discipline. Because envy can destroy your character or awaken your ambition. It depends on what you do with it. The ordinary person resents success. The wise person studies it. The weak person attacks what they envy. The strong person becomes what they admire. That is the law. If you found this valuable, take a second to like the video. It helps the channel more than you think. And subscribe, because next, we break down Law 11, the law of grandiosity. Why success can inflate the ego, distort reality, and make people believe they are untouchable. And once you understand that law, you will see why power often destroys the people who cannot control themselves.